What's good, Vikings Nation? Buckle up, because we've got a bombshell to unpack in today's Vikings news. The Minnesota Vikings just pulled off a trade that's got everyone talking. Our boy Mekhi Blackmon, the scrappy cornerback, is headed to the Indianapolis Colts for a 2026 sixth-round pick. Yeah, you heard that right. Another trade in a wild week for our squad. This move hit the airwaves on August 25, 2025, and it's the third trade by GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah in just 7 days. Blackmon, a third-round pick in 2023, showed so much promise as a rookie before an injury derailed his momentum. So, what does this mean for the Vikings defense, and why are we making these moves now? Let's dive into the purple chaos and figure it out together. Stick with me, Skull fans, because this trade is more than just a roster shuffle. It's a glimpse into the Vikings' big plans for 2026. Are we stacking draft picks for a blockbuster deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get this Vikings news party started. Let's rewind the tape on Mekhi Blackmon's time with the Vikings. Drafted 102nd overall in 2023 out of USC. This 5'11", 178-pound corner was a ball-hawking machine as a rookie. He played in 15 games, started 3, and racked up 41 tackles, 7 pass breakups, and an interception that had a screaming skull. At US Bank Stadium, his stats don't lie. Blackmon held quarterbacks to an 87.8 passer rating on 44 targets, earning a 71.8 Pro Football Focus coverage grade, the third highest among rookies with at least 200 snaps in 2023. That's elite company for a guy who was just getting started. But then disaster struck. What happened next changed everything for Blackmon and the Vikings. You feeling the sting of this trade yet, Vikings fans? Let me know in the comments. Were you a big Blackmon believer? Or did you see this coming? Keep it locked for the next twist in this Vikings news saga. Tragedy hit on the first day of Vikings training camp in July 2024. Mekhi Blackmon tore his ACL, sidelining him for the entire 2024 season. That's a gut punch for any player, especially a young corner trying to lock down a starting spot. The Vikings secondary took a hit without him, but Blackmon battled back, grinding through rehab to return for the 2025 preseason. He played 117 snaps across all 3 preseason games, showing flashes of his old self but struggling to climb the depth chart. Newcomers Isaiah Rodgers and Jeff Okudah, signed in the offseason, took the top spots alongside Byron Murphy Jr. Blackmon was stuck with the second team, and his 47.4 PFF grade in the preseason ranked dead last among Vikings defenders with at least 30 snaps. Ouch. So, Vikings Nation, was this trade a smart move to cut losses, or did we give up on Blackmon too soon? Hit the comments with your take, and let's keep unpacking this Vikings news. Now, let's talk about why the Vikings pulled the trigger. GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been dealing like he's playing poker in Vegas. This Blackmon trade is the third in a week, following deals that sent defensive tackle Harrison Phillips to the Jets and quarterback Sam Howell to the Eagles. The Vikings are stockpiling draft picks, 11 projected for 2026, including 3 compensatory selections. That 6th-round pick we got for Blackmon might not sound like much, but it's another chip in Kwesi's stack. The Vikings traded away a 2026 6th-rounder in the Howell deal, so this move essentially recoups that loss. It's all about flexibility for future trades or drafting young talent to rebuild this roster. What's Kwesi cooking, Skull fans? Is he setting up for a big splash in 2026? Maybe a trade for a star receiver with Jordan Addison suspended for the first 3 games? Drop your predictions below, and let's keep the Vikings news rolling. The Colts, on the other hand, are betting on Blackmon's upside. Indianapolis has been hit hard by injuries in their secondary. Guys like Jalen Jones, Juju Brents, and rookie Justin Wally all battling setbacks. Blackmon's versatility to play outside or in the nickel makes him a perfect fit for their defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo's scheme, which leans heavily on defensive backs. Blackmon's rookie tape shows he can hang with NFL receivers, with 8 pass breakups and a knack for making plays on the ball. At 26 years old with 2 years left on his rookie deal, he's a low-risk, high-reward add for the Colts. But let's be real. It stings to see a Viking go to a team we might face in the playoffs. What do you think, Vikings Nation? Are the Colts getting a steal, or did we make the right call trading Blackmon? Smash that comment section, and let's dive deeper into this Vikings news. Back to our side of the trade, let's talk about the Vikings cornerback room. Losing Blackmon leaves us thin at a position that was already a question mark. Byron Murphy Jr. is our lockdown CB1, but after him, it's Isaiah Rodgers and Jeff Okudah, both newcomers with their own risks. Okudah is an upside bet with a low floor, and Rodgers is still proving himself post-suspension. Behind them, we've got young guys like Dwight McGlothern, Zamea Vaughn, and Ambry Thomas. There's also Khalif Hailassie, who's been moonlighting at safety but could slide back to corner. The Vikings' depth is shaky, and with the roster cut-down deadline at 3 p.m. Central Time on August 26, 2025, more moves might be coming. Vikings fans, are you worried about our secondary? Or do you trust Brian Flores to work his magic? Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep breaking down this Vikings news. This trade isn't just about Blackmon. It's part of a bigger strategy. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is playing chess, not checkers. The Vikings now have picks in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 2 of M, 4th, 5th, 3, 6th, and 7th, 2 rounds of the 2026 draft. That's a war chest for a GM who loves to wheel and deal. Sources like the Star Tribune say the Vikings are exploring trades for a receiver, with Jordan Addison's 3-game suspension and Jalen Nailor's hand injury creating a need. There's even buzz about a potential reunion with Adam Thielen from the Panthers, though the price tag, both in draft picks and his $6.5 million salary, is a sticking point. What's the next move, Skol fans? Should we go all in for a veteran wideout, or keep stacking picks for the draft? Hit the comments and let's keep the Vikings news hype alive. Let's take a moment to appreciate Mekhi Blackmon's grit. This dude battled back from a torn ACL, an injury that's ended careers, and still suited up for 117 preseason snaps. That's the kind of heart we love in a Viking. His interception against the Saints in 2023 and his fumble recovery against the Bears had us jumping out of our seats. But the NFL is a business, and Blackmon's rough preseason didn't help his case. Stuck behind Rodgers and Okudah, he was closer to losing reps to young guys like McGlothern and Vaughn than earning a starting role. The Vikings saw a chance to get value for a player who wasn't in their immediate plans. Vikings Nation, let's give Blackmon some love. Drop a Skol in the comments for his time in purple. What's your favorite Blackmon moment? Let's keep this Vikings news convo going. Now, let's zoom out and look at the Vikings defense. Brian Flores, our defensive guru, loves to throw curveballs with disguises and heavy DB packages. Losing Blackmon hurts our depth, but Flores has a knack for turning unheralded players into stars. Remember when he made Byron Murphy Jr. a menace in 2023? The Colts, meanwhile, are banking on Blackmon fitting into their dime-heavy scheme under Lou Anarumo. With veterans like Charvarius Ward and Xavier Howard already in Indy, Blackmon might back up Kenny Moore in the slot or compete for outside reps. It's a fresh start for him, but it leaves us wondering about our own CB depth. Skol fans, do you trust Flores to keep our secondary elite, or should we make a move before the season starts? Drop your take below, and let's keep digging into this Vikings news. This trade frenzy is giving us whiplash, Vikings Nation. First, Harrison Phillips to the Jets for 2 6th-rounders. Then, Sam Howell to the Eagles for a 5th and 7th. Now, Blackmon to the Colts for another 6th. Kwesi's building a draft pick arsenal, and it's got us buzzing about what's next for the Vikings. The timing is key. NFL teams had to cut rosters to 53 by August 26, 2025, at 3 p.m. Central Time. Blackmon's trade, announced the night before, suggests the Vikings didn't see him cracking the final roster. But with cornerback depth still a concern, could we see a last-minute addition to bolster the secondary? What's the vibe, Vikings fans? Are you hyped for Kwesi's draft capital haul? Or nervous about our CB situation? Smash the comments, and let's keep the Vikings news train rolling. Let's talk about the Colts side of this deal. Indy's secondary has been a mash unit this offseason. Jalen Jones and Juju Brents missed time with hamstring injuries, and rookie Justin Wally tore his ACL in a joint practice. Adding Blackmon, a versatile corner with starting experience, is a low-cost gamble for a team desperate for depth. Blackmon's 2023 tape shows he can cover, tackle, and make plays, exactly what the Colts need in their DB-heavy scheme. At just 26, he's got time to rediscover his rookie form and could be a steal for that sixth-round pick. But for us Vikings fans, it's bittersweet to see a homegrown talent walk out the door. Vikings Nation, do you think Blackmon will ball out in Indy? Or are we better off without him? Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep breaking down this Vikings news. The Vikings' 2026 draft outlook is looking juicy, Skol fans. With 11 picks, including 3 in the 5th round and 2 in the 7th, we've got ammo to either draft a slew of young talent or package picks for a big trade. Kwesi's trades show he's not afraid to shake things up, but it's a risky move with the regular season just weeks away. Posts on X are buzzing about this trade, with some fans praising Kwesi's long-term vision and others worried about our thin secondary. One post from @Alec_Lewis on August 26, 2025, laid out our full 2026 pick haul. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 2, 4th, 5th, 3, 6th, and 7th, 2. That's a lot of darts to throw at the draft board. What's your take, Vikings Nation? Are we building a dynasty with these picks, or do we need help now? Hit the comments, and let's keep the Vikings news flowing. Let's get real for a second. This trade stings because Blackmon was one of ours. A third-round pick who flashed big-time potential, only to get derailed by injury and depth chart battles. His 71.8 PFF grade as a rookie was no fluke. He was locking down receivers and making plays. But the NFL moves fast, and the Vikings clearly felt he wasn't part of the 2025 plan. The good news? Our front office is playing the long game. The Blackmon trade, combined with the Phillips and Howell deals, gives us flexibility to address needs at receiver, corner, or even quarterback in 2026. With the season kicking off against the Bears on September 8, 2025, we've got time to make one more move. Vikings fans, are you feeling optimistic or skeptical about Kwesi's strategy? Drop a comment, and let's keep the Vikings news hype alive. As we wrap up this wild Vikings news update, let's look at the big picture. The Vikings are reshaping their roster, prioritizing draft capital and flexibility over holding on to players like Blackmon who didn't fit the immediate plan. It's a bold move, but with Brian Flores scheming on defense and a loaded 2026 draft class, the future looks bright. Still, the cornerback depth is a concern. Without Blackmon, we're relying on unproven youngsters like McLaughlin and Vaughn to step up. The Vikings could be scouring the waiver wire or trade market for a veteran CB before the season starts. Keep your eyes on Vikings.com for the latest updates. What's the mood, Skol fans? Are we ready to roll with this roster? Or do we need one more piece? Smash the comments with your take, and let's keep the Vikings news rolling. Alright, Vikings Nation, we've dissected this Mekhi Blackmon trade from every angle. From his electric rookie year to the ACL setback and now a fresh start in Indy. It's been a wild ride. The Vikings are stacking picks and setting up for a big 2026. But the question remains, can our secondary hold up in 2025? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment with your thoughts on the trade, Kwesi's strategy, or who you want to see in purple next. Are we making the right moves? Or is this a risky gamble? Your voice matters, Skol fans, so let's get that comment section popping. If you love this Vikings news breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more purple updates. Share this video with your fellow Vikings fans, and let's keep the Skol spirit alive. Until next time, Skol Vikings.